It's happy hour, everybody. Welcome to today's show. I'm super excited about today's show, Liz. We have Jennifer Brazer from Complete Controller in Austin, who's going to be joining us and talking about her year-end process. I met with Jennifer back at Scaling New Heights. We actually had a cocktail together, and I learned about her business, and her business is pretty amazing. So she's got a staff of over 40 accountants that are working with clients all over the country. So she's going to be talking about her year-end processes and kind of sharing some tips and tricks on how we can make that process easier for ourselves and our own firms.
She's so easy to talk to, too.
Mm-hmm.
She's very open. I love that she's got a lot of experience, and she's really willing to share all of her adventures and what she's doing in her firm, and how she's using ADP and other actual apps to be able to help her clients.
She's amazing. I mean, she really is so generous with her knowledge. Like I said, we had an amazing chat in Salt Lake City, and I'm a big fan. So I'm really excited for this session. So let's go ahead and get started and just introduce ourselves. Get the party started. We'll introduce Jennifer and Rhonda. So I'm Heather Satterley, owner of Satterley Training and Consulting. You all know me by now. I love QuickBooks. I love accounting technology. I love apps. I love Liz. And I love all of you. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys today.
And I am Liz Scott, and happy to take all that love in and send some back over. And so I absolutely love that I'm able to have a practice where I'm able to enjoy my children and have a virtual practice and help my clients. And I've even found that a lot of my clients are now starting to be virtual themselves. And so it's just a world that is transforming, and it's really fun to see how much technology has allowed us to be able to make that huge transformation into working with fuzzy slippers.
You know, and it's interesting because if you think back to the way it was way back in the day, right?
5 years ago?
I'm thinking a little further than that, but
okay.
You know, when people, their whole lives revolved around their homes and their community, and having a cloud business allows you to go back to that, where I'm here with my family, I'm here with my kids and my neighbors, and yet I'm helping people all over the world. It's a little bit of magic, I think. We're able to have, be close to home and really make sure that our home time is quality time, yet we're able to touch so many more lives than we were ever able to do in the past.
Exactly. And focus on those things as core values. So
Definitely.
Very, very lucky world.
We are. And we're also super lucky to have with us today Jennifer Brazer from Complete Controller in Austin. It's actually a nationwide firm, bookkeeping firm. And she'll tell you a little bit about her business in just a moment. And then we also have the godmother of Accountant Connect, ADP's Accountant Connect product, Rhonda Vollmuth, with us. So, and I just found out today, as we were chatting right before the show, Liz, that Rhonda is a URI graduate. So we actually are both Rhody Rams, which is really exciting. So she's down in New Jersey, and so I was really excited. I don't think we've ever had a fellow Rhody Ram on our show before, so she's the first one.
Well, and Rhonda's really awesome. So.
Rhonda's amazing, super smart, brilliant, and she's the queen of Account Connect. So wait till you guys see this up. It's amazing. All right, so let's get this party started. We've introduced Jennifer. She's going to dive right into her segment. I know you guys are really excited to ask questions, and if you guys have some best practices that you think that you need to share with the group about, with your year-end, please do that in the chat. We'd love to hear what you have to say. So let's get started. Jennifer, welcome.
Controller. We are a virtual bookkeeping service. So we provide bookkeeping to a nationwide market, US market only. And we really cater to the small business. We find ourselves, right before tax season and during tax season, very, very busy. trying to coordinate all of the books and the records so that our clients, CPAs and EAs and tax preparers, are able to get the information that they need in order to perform taxes for their clients. So it's a really big responsibility, and it's a big push. We have a lot of clients across the nation. We have a lot of staff across the nation. So we've really had to create a kind of an organized method for what we do. And I know that everyone who does bookkeeping, really has their own way of doing things. I'm going to share my way. Maybe there are some practices that will pique your interest, and please feel free to chat and ask questions. So let's look at the next slide. Perfect. So, one of the things that I really want to bring forward is that year end starts before year end, right? If we're not ready as it's coming and starting to prepare our clients to think that way, next thing you know, it's going to be December 31st and no one's going to have anything that we need. So we really start that conversation we send out with the very first report package in October. We start talking about looking at that 1099 report that we send out every month, by the way, but whoever looks at it until it becomes urgent, right? So looking at it more closely, making sure that the vendors, we have their tax ID number, that they're properly classified, these types of things. That's going to be really important. We also do record keeping for our clients. So we want to make sure that those W-9s are on file. If they're not, or if they're old, we let them know. And so this is all kind of started that leading up process.
Right. And all of those lovely letters are now coming, right, from the IRS with the mismatch, the 10 mismatch letters are all, I think I got 2 of them last week for a couple of my clients. So now really is the time to be resolving all of that, for sure.
It is, because, once you get it out, then you have to revise it. And that's always a pain. And then the clients are like, well, why didn't you know this in the first place? They're really counting on us to be the expert and be able to bring that forward. So we're trying to be as proactive as we can. And those letters, when they come, by the way, they're scary. The clients don't like to ever get a letter from the IRS, period, the end. Their life would be happier if that never happened, right?
Right.
So, just being able to say, hey, we'll help you with that. We're going to be able to make sure that that gets resolved. That's really helpful. And then another thing for us is really knowing who that tax preparer is going to be. Because, if you don't know, then you can't be in touch with them. You can't be coordinating with them. And for us, we don't happen to do tax preparation. We just do the bookkeeping and record keeping. So we're a support to the tax preparer. We need to know who that is so that we can coordinate with them, make sure that things are tied out to last year, make sure that they know that they can count on us for doing stuff, ask questions, and just be in contact as we're starting to prepare their client. And then we try to do a meeting with the client. And this isn't always easy. They don't always want to sit down and do that meeting. They're busy. They have stuff going on. It's the holidays, don't you know, my kids just started school, and next thing you know, it's, Halloween, and then it's Christmas, right? So really getting them to take that time to sit down with us and have those conversations about the new year isn't always easy. And we have to start early, trying to encourage them to do that with us.
Do you have a special tip that you could share to help your client, that you use to help your clients see the importance of these client meetings? Because that is a huge struggle with us. Is clients are busy, and a lot of times they come to us because they don't have time to do the bookkeeping and keep their records straight. That's why they come to us. So trying to get them to sit down and focus on their record keeping and their books, it can be a huge challenge.
Exactly. And we do a lot of our communication via email with the client, right? Because they're busy and they just want to know that the work's done and we're delivering it, and that's that. But in this case, we make sure that we reach out with a phone call. And we let them know that, we'd like to just look at having just that discussion going into year end, make sure that our T's are crossed, our I's are dotted, that we're not missing anything, and that we understand what their plan is for the new year, because there's all kinds of fun things that we can help them with. We can help them with budgeting, right? We're the best people to help them with budgeting because we actually have their performance laid out for the whole year. So as accountants, we're in this perfect situation where we can really assist with that process. and help them to set their goals for forecasting. We can also help them if they want to make a change. You know, it's a great time to change payroll providers if you've been really frustrated with your payroll provider, or maybe you need more service or you need HR. It's a great time to make a lot of changes because it really kind of lays that line in the sand, and any reporting that you're going to get then at the end of next year will all be from that, you know, January 1 date forward. So we really stress the importance of that. We make that phone call, and a lot of times when we're reaching out via phone call, then they're getting right back to us because they're like, these guys don't usually call me. What's going on here? You know, this must be important. So we try to kind of stress that with them. And we do have some clients that just like, they're super minimal. Maybe they only have like a real estate holding entity and, you know, they have just a few things scattered here and there, but we still try to stress that we'd like to talk to them before year end. Just have that conversation. I think it really solidifies the relationship too, don't you think?
I agree, absolutely. And I gotta just tell you, I just love that you just said that doing budgets is fun.
Well, we're like, there has to be some of us in the world.
I love doing the budgets, but I'm guessing there's some business owners out there that say budgets are not fun.
Oh my gosh.
But we're like all about the budgets. So I love that. But yeah, and I mean, I think it's also a good time to check in with the client and make sure that you're providing the, you know, the service level that they need. And it also, like you said, solidifies the relationship when you're being proactive. So many clients, when they first, you know, onboard to, you know, my firm, and I'm sure your firm, the reason they're finding a new provider is because they weren't getting the level of service or the level of care that they want from their accounting professionals. So being proactive and reaching out to your client says, I care about you, I'm watching your back, right? And it really does help to forge that you know, that awesome relationship.
I totally agree. And, you know, one of the things that we've done is, like I said, we do a lot of email contact. We've started to implement that throughout the year, at least on a quarterly basis. We are reaching out and we are making those phone calls. And these year-end phone calls, of course, are so critical. But for those of you who really have fallen into that groove of, you know, the virtual accounting and that kind of lower touch with your clients, you know, it's something to consider that phone call may not even take that long. Maybe they're busy and don't even want to talk to you forever, but it really gives them that feel, like Heather said, that, you know, you care and you're bothering to reach out and find out what are your hopes and fears for the next year, what are your plans, and that can really help you to be you know, more potent as an accountant as well, because if you know they're planning on growing, selling, you know, whatever, going on vacation, whatever it may be, then of course you can have conversations around that and you just become that much more personal to their success.
I think that you just said it right there. You become that much more personal. So that's the piece of it that can't be replaced. So no matter how much automation that you've added in, it's the personal part of it that I think that the business owners are really looking for. So like you said, it doesn't really take a whole lot of client interaction in order for them to feel like they've been taken care of and listened to.
Absolutely. And you don't only want them to be reaching out when they're unhappy. You want to actually be proactive and be reaching out to them when everything is fine, because that then reiterates, hey, everything is fine, things are going well. And every time they're speaking that to you, they're hearing themselves say that. And I think that it really psychologically can help the relationship. We're sometimes so driven by automation, and yes, we need to have that on the back end. Absolutely. Efficiency is king, right? But at the same time, that personal touch is so important. So Heather, if you look at the next slide, we talk more about kind of our internal process, right? So this is really just kind of the checklist that the bookkeeper and controller team goes through as we're closing the book. So this is going to be on the internal side rather than the client-facing side. We're, of course, checking the trial balance. We're making sure that it ties out to last year's tax return. I don't know how many clients we've inherited where we get their books and it just does not tie out to a tax return, period. And I'm confounded that they've even lasted this long. I mean, the process obviously isn't working for the tax preparer at that point. So that is the number one period. We have to have that working. And then number 2 is the equity transactions, making sure that the current year equity is resolved, that the tax preparer really knows where to look to find those distribution transactions. Obviously, if there is a note on the books, shareholder loan, that type of thing, how that is resolved, whether the tax preparer wants us to apply to that first before taking distributions, etc. So really kind of following instructions there. And then payroll, this is where ADP comes in, Rhonda, really reconciling, tying out to those government filings, because whether you're doing accrual or cash basis, you still have a reconciliation that needs to occur at the end of each quarter. And of course, annually, then it all ties up in a pretty little bow, because you're going to have those liabilities that are carrying up to that balance sheet, and you need to know what actually happened this year and what is actually going to happen next year. And the client can't easily see that. They're thinking payroll that just happened last Friday. They're not thinking, hey, I've impounded for a future thing, or I'm accruing for something that's already happened. That's not going on in their head. So we're needing to tie that out for them. And having access to those records is so important to that process.
I love that checklist. I love that step in the process too, because when you're doing the reconciliation for payroll, that's where a lot of times you find errors. You find, like, for example, contractors that they're not tracking for 1099s, that they're throwing into payroll, and it opens up a whole new level of conversation, right? And service conversation, the conversation between, is it an employee, is it a contractor? And that helps you to bring additional value to the engagement. Although a lot of times the clients don't see it as additional value.
That's true. They think we're being pesky, right? Like, oh yeah. Like, I got that handled. That's
I always tell my clients, I'm watching your back so that you can just run your business, right?
Yes,
I'm not gonna be pesky just to be pesky. I'm gonna be pesky because I care about you, right? So
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that that's our job, so that we're thinking about those things that they may not be thinking about, or we're moving them up on the ladder of importance, right? Because they're thinking, not that big a deal. I just paid that guy off the back of my tailgate for putting that fence in at that property that I'm going to flip, but actually that's a rather complex entry, when you're dealing with that type of transaction. So really making sure that everything is tight is really important. So then the other part of it is the internal review. And this is a really big deal for us. We make sure that everything has a second set of eyes on it. And internal review is something that we make sure that we're handling before the actual tax preparer sees the numbers for tax preparation, receives our email saying that we're thinking the books are ready. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do to further, tighten them up for you. And that internal review means that somebody within our company who's not on that client's bookkeeping team is going to go through those books and make sure that there aren't any red flags, right? We're not seeing negatives on the balance sheet. We're not seeing, all these, anomalies across a month-over-month P&L, all of these things that you're looking for on a regular basis. But sometimes when you're in that project and you're the one doing it, you're not noticing it. And even when you're the oversight and you're seeing it every month or you're seeing it every quarter, you might not see something because you're just so used to seeing it, or maybe you have inside knowledge. And so when somebody looks at it who doesn't have that, then they can really be picky about it. They can really say, hey, listen, if somebody comes in and looks at this, this isn't right. We need to clean this up, memorialize it, do what we have to do to make sure it's nice and clean.
I've found that in my 20-something, 30-something years doing this, that, you have people that are in the trees and they can't see the forest, right? They're in the trees and all they can see are the trunks of the trees and the grass and all the little details that are in there. And then you have those that can see the forest, but they can't see the trees, right? You can't see the trees in the forest, right? So, and I feel like on every team, you have to have both of those to have a really effective accounting team. You have to have those that are looking at the high level overview of, the basically steering the ship of the business. Yes. And then you have to have those that are digging into the details and making sure that, like you said, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. So I love that you have that set up in your firm. Like, kudos to you. So
yeah,
it's
really
not
made
the same person.
right.
Not everybody can do all things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard. I mean, I get it that a lot of times we do try to do all things, and there's a lot of one solo owner firms, but it is difficult to try and catch it all.
Well, and what I would highly recommend if you are just a solo firm is, when you're working with the client's tax preparer, perhaps mention, that you've been doing the bookkeeping for this year, and that you just like them to just take a look through the reports and let you know if they see any anomalies that you need to address before they get to tax prep, and let them know that you'll be their humble servant and that you'll take care of those things for them, because then you're being of service to the tax preparer as well. That brings even greater value. And by the way, those tax preparers are going to be either your best advocate or your worst critic. So keeping them happy, making sure that they know that they can rely on you, that's really important stuff, in our opinion. So let's see, closing the books, of course. So once we do that internal review, then we want to close the books, because we don't want the clients messing with them. And I mean, how many times have you done a cleanup and catch up scope, where you got everything tied up in a bow and you reconciled payroll and everything's nice and tight, and then a month later the taxpayer goes in and goes, this doesn't even match, and you're thinking, what could have happened? And sure enough, the client has deleted one major journal entry, or moved something over across the date line. And then of course you have to find that, and thank goodness for the audit trail, but it's not always easy, so. And then when that's closed, then of course we notify the client's tax preparer that the books are ready, and we get their head in the game. We let them know that we think they're ready, that it's tied out to the trial balance, that the payroll's been reconciled, that we have closed them and internally reviewed them, but we understand that there could still be things that they want fixed, changed, reclassed, and that we're there to do that for them if they need it. So
I love that your checklist has literal check marks next to it, which says, hey, you've done it. So it's an action list. I mean, that's what this tells me, is that this is for you to go through and not just read and go, yeah, I scanned it, but to actually say, these are action items for you to go through and do something with. And then on the bottom of it, those are additional notes, because we know that additional things happen in our lives. And,
absolutely.
There's always some special circumstances. They bought something extra big, or, they have some student personal things. We know that our clients put in their personal expenses sometimes into their books because they want us to see this really happened.
Yes, so absolutely. And I think that internally too, you have to be able to see those notes, those special circumstances, because then you can understand, what's happening there, and you can know to pass that on to the CPA. And by the way, you ladies will have the checklist. Anyone who would like to actually have our checklist, I'm very happy to share that.
Wow.
Hopefully you can make your own checklist based on that. I'd love for anyone to have it who thinks it would be useful. So
I think that's an awesome gift. So
cool.
Especially right now at end of year, I think that I would wager that there's a bunch of people who would be saying, yes, please.
Very cool.
If nothing else, this is a template for them to go ahead and take it and say, do I have all of these things on my own list? And if not, let me add some of that. So
absolutely.
We just got Stacy saying in all caps, yes, please. So there you go. The voices have spoken.
Yes. Heather, I can't hear you, but I can see you talking. I think you might be muted.
That darn mute button. Yeah, no, I was saying Sandra and Jim would love that. People are going crazy. They would love to have a copy of your list. So
good. Yeah. And I think it's all about not reinventing the wheel, but looking at what other people are doing, and then looking at your model for your practice and deciding what you want to take from that and what you want to leave. And that way you can be as thorough as possible. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So here, since it's Appy hour, I wanted to talk about the apps that really help to automate our year-end process and how we use them in our practice. So first thing is QuickBooks Online Accountant. So our firm is specifically QuickBooks GL centric. We don't use other GL softwares. So we're just really focused in on that Intuit product. And so everything is managed through our firm profile with Intuit. And we're able then from that firm profile to delegate access, move it around within the firm, and then also kind of have that bird's eye view on what's been done within the books in terms of, if there's an upcoming payroll, if there's reconciliations, that type of thing. And so super valuable, have to have it. We wouldn't be able to function without it. And then the next one that is super important, and we've integrated this app into our actual ongoing process for our clients this year, is More Reporting. So More Reporting is reporting software, obviously. Really, really great software. Be a fun app to even do like a separate fun little Appy hour on, just because we did the deep dive with it this year. So we got the training and, we got to know all the little nuggets. One of the things that was kind of that present under the Christmas tree that I didn't know was going to be there when I decided to onboard with More Reporting is that they have this kind of dashboard ability for us to see within each client portfolio a bird's eye view of how healthy the books are. So we can see what's been done on them, what is not healthy about them, what seems weird. It actually uses AI to look at anomalies and report them back to us. So that's great for having conversations with clients. It's also really great for us to be able to see if there's anything that's incomplete that perhaps, through our review process, we're not catching. So everything's going to go through that More Reporting before it gets to the end of the line in terms of closing a period. And then Tax 1099. I mean, we've been using these guys for years. I'm sure that there'll be new ones to the market, but so far so good. They do a great job with us being able to file multiple, and by multiple I mean thousands of 1099s at year end, in the new year, and be able to get that done, very quickly. So it's great if you have all your 1099 workers through your payroll service, right? Wouldn't that be ideal? Except that it doesn't happen, and those checks do get written off the back of the tailgate, and things do get paid outside of the payroll service. And now there's even like, well, if you pay a corporation, maybe you do have to do the 1099, right? So it's like keeps changing, keeps shifting. And so we're just keeping track of it on the GL, and we're using Tax 1099. They also have that TIN matching service, which is really helpful. So, those letters that we get that say that it's not working, well, you can actually go in and do the TIN matching for your clients, which is really nice. So we love that app. And then one that you might not expect to see on here, but we actually swear by, is HubSpot. So we use HubSpot as our CRM, and it allows us to communicate directly with our market segment that is tax preparers. We actually call them CPA experts. And that could be tax preparers, but it also might be like a person's business coach or financial, like business manager or financial manager, or whoever it is that is involved in needing to see those final finances. And so we'll be able to send messages to them, letting them know the status and everything through HubSpot. And then also, of course, we can target our client segment. And so we can keep them involved with knowing when the deadlines are that are coming and feeling like they know what's up, because they don't like it sneaking up on them. They're really kind of relying on us to tell them that it's coming. And I learned that the hard way. There were some property tax bills due for a client really early on in my practice, and I didn't warn them that they were due just because I just didn't think to do it. And they were really upset with me. They said, you're the accountant and you should be warning us about that. So I learned early on, better to over-inform than under-inform. And we try to use HubSpot to really keep everyone getting that same information. And then finally, we have our payroll companies. So we have a new app that's rolled out from our favorite payroll company. And Rhonda's actually going to tell you more about that. The reason why I even bring it up is because it has a direct integration with our preferred GL software, and it has saved us a tremendous amount of time when it comes to putting the payroll in. So you know how you have these payroll companies, they always say, oh, we've got an integration. It's all integrated, it's perfect. But then, well, by the way, well, you have to map it. Okay, well, then you have to pay extra to have us map it. Oh, well, that means if you want to tweak it, then you have to have us tweak it, and so there's always these barriers, right? Or maybe you map it, but you map it through a macro, and then it's like going through this Excel spreadsheet, and then you're getting it in on the other side, and like you're still having to fix it, and really getting away from that having to fix it. Have it be a true direct integration is so extremely valuable. So anyway, I'll let Rhonda talk more on that, but these are definitely my favorite apps to use for year end.
That's awesome. And I know ADP has a 1099 service too, right? So you can actually have them handle all of your subcontractor payments, and it's run along with payroll. And then they do all the 1099s as well, if you want to do it that way. So
cool.
Awesome.
Great lineup of apps there.
Thank you. So this is my final slide because this is the app. But what I didn't realize is that we were going to have our godmother of Accountant Connect right here on the line with us while we were doing this. So when I put this together, I didn't know that she would be able to actually speak to all of this. And I think it's worth listening to because just, in terms of saving time, making sure that you have things delegated properly to your team, and being able to watch critical benchmarks and notations about your clients that are all within your firm profile. There really isn't a payroll app out there that's like this, and it's been really valuable to us. In fact, our preferred referral now is ADP, because we would love for all of our clients to be on this, and then it just saves us time, it saves in accuracy, and it makes it so that you're really able to be a little bit more of an advisor to your clients, because it gets you away from worrying about that nitty-gritty manual transaction stuff and into some of the higher level, up higher in the trees.
Right.
So
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing all of those awesome tips. It makes me kind of excited to get ready for year end. I'm like, oh, I'm ready to do this.
Me too. Me too. Okay, so my favorite thing is to be able to hear how are practitioners actually using the apps. Because it's one thing just to say, yes, it really works, but to actually hear it in action, like what you just shared, and to hear your practice and the apps that you're using in conjunction, I feel like that's super, super helpful. And so I really love and appreciate that you came on and opened up what your practice is doing. And I would suspect that when Rhonda starts sharing about the dashboard, that you're going to probably throw in a couple of, oh, and it also does. So feel free to.
okay.
You already have permission now.
Thank you so much, ladies.
So this is the fun time. And I have to say, my computer went bleh at the very beginning of Appy Hour, but I wore my red shirt today and my black necklace in order to be able to say, I'm wearing ADP colors.
I didn't think of that.
I did it on purpose. And my computer crashed. So I was like, scrambling. You should have seen me. I got my laptop up and my laptop was just like, no, thank you. So anyway, but my drink is ready. So I'm ready.
All right, are you ready? I'm so excited for this.
Yes.
So this is called Working for the Weekend, and it's cold brew coffee, dark rum, cream de cocoa, and milk. And oh my gosh, it looks so good.
Look how much milk yours has got in it. Okay, mine
has a lot of milk in it.
And I opted for no ice. And those who know me know I can drink coffee all day long. So Nick actually picked this drink, and so I was like, yes, all in.
So mine is really light. I don't know exactly why it's so light, but it is. So
I don't know, but
and if it's light, then that probably means that it's really delicious.
it's probably much sweeter than mine. Yeah, no,
That is fair. It is delicious. It's absolutely delicious. And I actually used almond milk instead of regular milk. So,
well, I love all the variations because mine has no ice, and I did not start with the cold brewed. I went all the way hot because I thought, working during the weekend. So if I'm working during the weekend,
it's working it's not working during the weekend. It's working
for the weekend.
For the weekend.
Yeah.
So you work hard during the week so that you can kick back.
But that's not exactly the way that my brain interpreted it.
Okay.
It was hey, if you're gonna have to work during the weekend, go ahead and have beverage.
To clarify, this is a Monday to Friday drink.
A Monday and a Friday drink.
Today weekdays only.
It's a Tuesday drink today.
But what happens on the weekend? You can't drink it because I'm drinking it then too.
Yeah, you could opt to go for something a little bit harder over the weekend, I guess.
Harder than dark rum?
Jennifer's like, wait, what? What just happened?
But the beauty about it is that you can drink it the same way you drink your coffee. Light and sweet. If you like it black, either way.
Right.
That's amazing. Yeah. Anyway,
you guys like it.
If you like coffee, you're in.
It's really good. I mean, I think that my feedback on it, and then we'll stop talking about the drink, is that it doesn't taste like it has any alcohol in it at all.
No, I agree.
It just tastes like a coffee. So I think it could be kind of a dangerous drink.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
drizzle of caramel wouldn't be bad either.
No.
We had a suggestion that maybe some heavy whipping cream. So yeah, we could always do some Cool Whip too. So
right, there's lots of variations. Yeah. Yeah.
Hot coffee in the morning. Yep.
And Michael agrees that this could be a dangerous drink because you can't taste any alcohol in it at all. And there's 3 ounces of alcohol in it. So
oh my gosh, it's so fun. Okay, all right, so let's get going because this
yeah,
there we go. All right, Rhonda.
Okay. So thank you so much for having me. Loved hearing all the comments from Jennifer about preparing for year end. So just quick about myself. So I got my Godmother title from being with Accountant Connect since the beginning. So I was blessed with this project, and it's been just an incredible journey and joy to be part of it and working with accountants to make it happen and evolve it over the years. So thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to kind of talk about where we are today with Accountant Connect. So we can jump to the first slide. For those that aren't aware, Accountant Connect is our cloud-based platform that we designed specifically for accountants, with accountants we say, because we are constantly taking accountant feedback to evolve and improve it as we go. But hearing you guys talk earlier in the hour, some of the keywords that you used, more efficient, time saving, help you be more proactive. These are the things that I take to my team every day, because that is what I want to do with this tool, is really make your practices more efficient, save you time so you can focus on those larger forest pictures versus focusing on the trees and the more tactical things. So that is definitely a focus for me, and I hope as we continue to evolve Accountant Connect, it kind of started a little bit more transactional, but we are on that journey with you as you are transitioning your firms to trying to be more proactive, and I hope you like what we have coming. And I will be at QuickBooks Connect, so you can find me if you have any other ideas. So as we go through this, keep your ideas coming and come find us later. I'm always open to new opportunities. So you can go ahead and jump to the next slide. So, so the first thing we're going to be, okay, Accountant Connect. So just a little bit about what Accountant Connect is. It is our online platform for accountants. It's free, which is awesome. In addition to having easy client access, you also get a lot of free tools and resources. So we spend a lot of time working with Nick and others to figure out what would be valuable and having one-stop shop for you as you're working with your clients. So we have tools, resources, calculators, tax guides, the CCH Master Tax Guide, and it's all free. Even if you don't link clients, you can take advantage of these great resources that we make available to help you run your practices more efficiently. But once you link your clients, then you get all that great access for the year-end pulling down reports, and hopefully what we try to make the most efficient process possible, and that you can do it at batch. You can do all your clients at one time. You can schedule it. So if you're doing it every week for bookkeeping purposes, you can schedule it. You can section out your clients by different members of your firm. So we really try to make it as flexible as possible so that you can use it in the best way that suits your firm. So that's a little bit about what Accountant Connect. It's free. Go check it out, play with it, register, and take a look. But I wanted to talk about two of the things that we'll be talking about at QuickBooks Connect, so you get a little sneak peek at what's coming. So if we move to the next slide, you know, along the lines of those advisory services and having more proactive conversations with your clients are expecting that of you. So we're trying to think about how can ADP help. So we're going to be introducing a new area in Accountant Connect that's called analysis tools. And within that view, we're going to bring in client insights, and then also bring in some other resources that we have already in Accountant Connect, but bring them in together into this one area, another mini one-stop shop for all of your analysis activities that you may want to do for your clients. So that would include the compensation benchmarking and the industry reports. So I'll talk a little bit about each of those in a little bit more detail. We want to jump to the client insights portion. So this is a new view that we will be launching in the coming month or so, and I'm really excited about it. It actually, the idea came from a group of accountants that we work very closely with. They said it would be great if we had, and we've kind of worked with them over the last 12 months now to evolve this view and tweak it. But to just give you a kind of a snapshot to look at, these are all my clients that have given me access through ADP, either our Run platform or our Workforce Now platform. And in a quick snapshot, I can see what's going on with my client portfolio with ADP. I can see how many clients I have on each of the payroll platforms. I can see which clients are adding different jurisdictions, which may trigger an action for you to be more proactive. They might not think to call you and tell you that it happened, but if you see it happening because they are linked to you and you're using our platform, you can proactively reach out to them. And then the employee trends as well. So what's happening? Are they growing? Are they shrinking? Are they having a lot of turnover? This again can be a prompt for you to reach out and do a little health check with them, like what's going on? Are you having a retention issue? Are you paying your employees correctly? I think earlier in the hour, you know, year end is a time to think about, like, are they on the right platform? Are they offering HR solutions? Are they offering the right kind of benefits to their employees? So our hope is that these kind of triggers will set off actions that you can reach out and have more proactive conversations with your clients. And then the table at the bottom is ADP products by client. So this seems like a simple view that you would be able to have, but as we talked to accountants, they said this is something that we try to manually maintain, or we don't have a bird's eye view of what's going on. So here you can come and you can see that, you know, who has all of the different products. You know, workers' comp, we have our pay-by-pay product. If it's something that makes your life extremely easy, you can identify clients that potentially are not having it. So again, just a trigger point for you to launch off and potentially have more proactive conversations with your employees. And we'll continue to evolve this. So we're bringing in new elements. Those little light bulbs are going to pop up kind of insights based on data that we have. So bringing in some of, I went, at one point it's AI, right? But somebody in one of our boards said it's not artificial intelligence, it's actionable intelligence, something that you can take action off of. So we'll be bringing that into this view as well. If we wanted to jump to the next area, this is another item that we currently have in Accountant Connect. We're going to relocate it to this analysis tools area, but compensation benchmarking. This is something we launched in November of last year, and we've seen some really good traction with it, some great success stories coming from the field. And it's just one of those things that we're making available to the firms that partner with ADP for free. It's based on our data. So ADP, we pay, 30 million people across the world. And we take that anonymized data and we use it to provide this incredible tool that allows you to benchmark and look at the labor market across the country. So looking at specific industries and job titles, you can start to look at what is the labor market for a specific area. And this can be used to help advise your clients on attracting and retaining the right talent to help grow their companies.
If I could just jump in on this one, as a virtual company, I just have to say, it's really important for us and more clients that are kind of really becoming more of that virtual company. It's important to them to see where they can draw on talent in areas where they might pay less for it and where the ability to find jobs that really maximize the use of those skills is limited. And so one of the examples that I would give is that for me, we're based in Southern California. We used to always hire in Southern California. Then we moved our corporation to Austin, and Austin is a little bit better market in terms of labor rates. But as we're a nationwide company, what we find is that we get great skilled accountants in areas like Arkansas and Alabama and in more rural areas where they might not have an office to go to. And we can pay our same rate. And for them, it's way more impressive and tantalizing because they live somewhere where otherwise that wouldn't be available to them. And in year-end planning, knowing what those salaries can be for the next year, knowing where they're going and setting those goals during budgeting, this is super helpful. This tool's great. It's very fun too. You should just go in and poke around and have some fun with it.
It's free too, so.
It is, it's amazing. And the thing is that is a really common question that you get from your clients that are looking to expand their business. What should I pay this person? I know I need to hire somebody, but I don't know what level, what skill can I afford? Where should I hire from? And now we have not only a tool that can help us find the information, but we can export it into a deliverable document. So, I mean, that is just incredibly valuable to us and to our clients. So I love that. Love that. And there's nothing else out there like that. So kudos to ADP. It's awesome.
Okay. And the other thing is, I mean, how many times we've seen it several times that we've got clients that are overpaying their employees. And it's like, okay, look at this. Here's a tool right here where you can say you are going to go broke if you continue to pay your employees this way. And they don't always believe that they are actually, in fact, overpaying their employees. So it's really nice, or I mean, underpaying too. But truly, I mean, it's just a good tool either way. However it is, hiring or just benchmarking in general. So cool tool.
Very cool tool.
Thank you.
Yeah, we also have a quick question. This might be a good time to Katrina's asking, is the platform available in Canada?
Not yet. We are in discussions, but it is currently still US based. Okay. Thank you for all the great comments. Really excited about this tool. This is an area I want to continue to look at and see, what other what other solutions ADP offers that we can bring to the accounting community to leverage in your practice and continue to help advise your clients. So we can move down to the next one, which I believe is the industry reports. So also will be available in that analysis tools area. This is something we recently expanded. We used to feature 5. We now feature 10 that are easily downloadable right from Accountant Connect. And you can always reach out to your dedicated service rep to get access to over 200 industries that we can provide. But, you know, these are great things to look at for different industries as you're talking to your clients. It provides really good KPI information about the industry overall. And when I was poking around earlier today, at the end of these documents, there's actually really cool probing questions at the end. So as you're having those year-end conversations, they actually give you a little cheat sheet at the end of the at the end of the industry report that tells you these are questions you should be asking or thinking about when you're talking to clients. So I thought that was really cool too. So just another tip where we're trying to help wherever we can make this information available. So that's the analysis tools area. I hope to continue to evolve it, but this is what we're going to be launching with in the next month or so. Really excited about that. And then we can jump to the other item that we'll be talking about at QuickBooks, which is just more GL enhancements. So I think, you know, Jennifer talked about the recent enhancements we've had. So we've dedicated a lot of time and energy to this over the last year, opening up access, giving complete control to our accounting community to be able to manage the mapping themselves rather than going through a help desk or anything like that. You have direct access to it. We started with the QBO integration and really making that super easy, automatic import of the chart of accounts and the mapping, just really streamlined that, and all available through Accountant Connect. And now we are also working on enhancing our QBD. So we know that that is still very important to the accounting community. They love their QuickBooks Desktop for those that use it. So we are enhancing our integration capabilities as well with them. And then we'll also be working in the coming months to bring the two-way integrations for QuickBooks Online for our ADP Workforce Now product. So, you know, at QuickBooks, please stop by, check it out. It really is super easy. You won't believe how easy it is, and Jennifer can talk about how easy it is to get them set up, but excited to, you know, continue to make the things that are transactional very easy and efficient so that you can focus on other things.
I love the whole model of the Accountant Connect product, but you're right. I mean, what you've done is you've made the transactional part of it automated, and now you've given us all these tools that can help us to bring ourselves up to that advisory level and actually start giving our clients, you know, actionable advice to help them grow their business and move in the right direction. And I think for a lot of accounting professionals, I know I speak for myself, when I started to step into the space of advisory, it was very uncomfortable to me. Yeah. Because you're really telling your client, you know, you're giving them advice to take to grow their business, and you feel like, well, what if I'm wrong? And so having these tools and all of these resources available to us to kind of back us up and make us know that we're going in the right direction and know how to start those conversations is just so incredibly valuable to us. So thank you. I actually just said, I was telling you earlier, Rhonda, that I just set up my Accountant Connect account for my new firm that I'm starting. And when I was showing it to my partner, she was like, what, this is free? She's like, you're kidding. Like, she couldn't believe it. I was going through all the features, like, and look at this, and look at this, and look at this. And she was like, she was just completely blown away. So, yay.
Well, you have to pay a lot of money for that analysis, the industry analysis information, to get it through subscription anywhere else. So even like Dun & Bradstreet and everything, those subscriptions are so expensive. And for smaller firms, it's just cost prohibitive, you know? So this is great to put this right at our fingertips.
It is. And it definitely makes the smaller, you know, solopreneur and smaller firms, it kind of levels the playing field. We now have tools that the bigger firms have. And I love that. I love that. It's just, it's so incredible to see. Now, you guys have something really cool happening at your booth at QuickBooks Connect.
We do.
You got to tell us about that. I'm very excited about this.
So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to have somebody there who's going to lead you through breaking those barriers. So you'll get to write down those barriers that are keeping you from whatever you're working for or whatever is important to you. Write it down and just, you know, give a nice break to that board. So, and have a fun picture to take home as a memory for it as well. So I can think of a couple of boards I'd like to break. So,
yep.
So are you telling them what it is? Because you kind of told them what it was. So are you able to tell what it is that you're doing?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like,
You're super excited about this, Liz.
I know. I actually am. So my son's in Taekwondo, and I watch him break boards at every belt testing, and then throughout as he's gearing up for the belt testing. And so, of course, in my mind, I'm like, I could do that.
You're gonna get to do it.
I know. I can't wait.
Oh, I want to see this. You guys better videotape it.
I know, right?
Yes.
I want to see this for sure.
Well, and we have to videotape it so that way I can bring it back to my 12-year-old. He's a red belt, black stripe, so he's working on his black belts.
Wow.
So we have to videotape it so I can bring it back and I can say, "Hey, Mom's got it too."
And Liz has the most amazing kids. All three of her kids are like the best.
I really like them.
So awesome. They're just great human beings.
Thank
I
you.
love them. So I'm excited. So thank you so much, Rhonda, for that little tour of Accountant Connect, and really excited to see you at QuickBooks Connect.
Yeah.
And really grateful to ADP for the Accountant Connect product. I mean, it really, I can't tell you how much I love it. I think I told Liz about it, you know, a long time ago, and she's like, what? And you know, she said that she joined because she could see how excited I was about it. So we're huge fans.
Awesome. Thank you.
So we're going to go into our segment, which is the coolest thing, our coolest thing segment, and we just have a few minutes, so I'll do this really quick. So our last episode, we had Jesse from Zapier on, and Jesse had shown me some cool tools that I showed last time, but while I was telling him about the cool tools and that he had showed me that I was going to show everybody else, he showed me another really cool tool that really has changed my my life a little bit. So this is a Chrome extension. It's called Workona. It's totally free. I think there is a paid version. I'm on the free version. Works really great. But what it does is it actually manages your tabs. So when you enable it, you've got when you enable it, you end up with a little pin tab all the way to the left in your Chrome browser. And then inside that tab, you have this panel of your apps. And then you can create these workspaces for the different projects that you're working on. So these are client ones, so that's why I have a great amount. And then I have my internal, and I have the Appy Hour. And so when I click on each one, all of the tabs that you see over here on the right open up automatically. And when I switch to another workspace, they'll automatically close and it'll open the tabs for that workspace. So what it does is it conserves the resources locally on your machine, because it actually closes those processes as you're switching from tab to tab. So really what it's doing, and Liz and I, we don't know this for sure, but we guess, is that it's actually indexing your cache.
Which I can verify that, because I cleared my cache and cookies and it was gone.
And it was gone. So it's indexing the cache. So as you visit sites, it's indexing all of the data in your cache in your browser, and so that you're able, and then organizing it so you're able to find all of the pages that you use most often really, really easily. So this is kind of how it's organized. If I were to click on my Pipedrive icon here, notice that it brings up the last Pipedrive activities that I've actually interacted with in Pipedrive. So all I have to do is click on one and it will automatically launch in the browser. And then it also has cached or created buttons for each of the new action items in Pipedrive right from Workona. So instead of me having to open up Pipedrive and click on new deal or a new contact, I just click on this little tab over here in the Workona dashboard, and it will automatically open up that tab in my browser. So it's a huge time saver. So you can see how if you're working on multiple projects throughout the day, you can create different Workona folders and just click on each one as you're switching between the products and the projects, and we'll open up the different tabs right up here. You can see open up the different tabs right across the top of your browser. So this is Airtable, and it remembers the two Airtable bases that I use most often in my practice, which is the episode tracker for Appy Hour and my new client questionnaire for Saturday Training Consulting. So this is an amazing app. It really is life-changing. It's very, very robust. When I just signed on to it a few weeks ago, and then they came out with this launch pad over here on the left-hand side. But I just had to share it with everybody because it really has really improved my own processes in working in a cloud practice, right? Everything that I access is it's cloud-based, so everything's in my browser, so it's really organized it.
And you can save things. So like me, whenever I cleared my cache and cookies, you were able to go back and save.
Yeah, you can go back and save it. So it will remember, like you can save it's indexing your bookmarks, which are saved, and then it's also and it also saves your cache and indexes that. So that's our coolest thing. Please do first of all, thank you to everybody for joining us for our Appy Hours. We love them. We love you.
There's a big call for Jennifer's checklist.
Yes.
So, yes. I'm getting messages.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that maybe, Heather, do we want to, when we get that, do we want to just put that on our bar book in that?
Yeah, we'll put it in the bar book. That's a great idea. So in the bar book, under the ADP bar book card for the working for the weekend, if you click on that, we'll put a downloadable link with Jennifer's checklist there.
Okay, that sounds like a great.
Perfect. And
all the private messages we just
yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Okay.
Everybody wants your checklist, Jennifer.
Awesome. Yeah. I love it. I sent it to you guys, so let me know that you got it. And yeah.
Oh, okay.
Share it.
Okay.
And don't forget that you can find all our episodes, our blog, our drink recipes at qbappyhour.com. You can also send us a message there. And don't forget to visit the ADP website. Don't forget to go sign up for Account Connect. It's totally free. You really want to make sure that you do that. In fact, do you want to launch our poll, Liz? So we can have some folks at ADP reach out to people that might want to get some more information. Are you able to do that, or do I have to do it?
No, I do not have.
All right, I will do it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. There we go. All right, and then make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Register for Zoom so you can join the fun. And next, on October 22nd, we're going to have Bento for Business, and we're going to be talking about why bookkeepers rock. So we are going to talk about why bookkeepers are the lifeblood and the angels and saviors for so many business owners, and why they're amazing. And we're also going to talk about Bento for Business. So hope to see you on that episode. And another huge thank you to ADP. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Jennifer, for all of your time and your wonderful advice. And thank you, Nick. This was a great episode. This was awesome.
Yeah, very, very, very nice.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for having us. And Rhonda, it was great to meet you. I can't wait to look you up at QuickBooks Connect.
Yes, or sooner maybe, right?
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, bye everyone.
All right, bye everybody.
Thanks, ladies. Take care.
Take care.